Hey, it's Central Valley Real Estate and Home Improvement. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Jeff Hess with Movoto Realty.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show, Jeff. It's
Pleasure.
been
I'm
been
so
a
happy
couple
to.
weeks,
It
but,
has been. I'm happy to be invited back.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about. Well, you got a listing, but
Yeah.
that's not important. I want to talk about. I want to talk about the concept that we were talking about before we went on camera.
Yeah.
But with this gray hair and my gray cells, I'm not sure I know. We're going to talk about the ability and affordability.
Yeah.
Of housing. This is a great place if you want to buy a house.
Oh,
right?
and it's an absolutely tremendous time to be a buyer as well. So I primarily focus on low-income buyers. So my clients are usually between like $100,000 and $220,000.
Okay.
The listing I'm carrying right now is listed at $230,000.
Okay.
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's over by Shields and Clovis, just not far from the airport, so almost Sunnyside. But I see properties like this all over Fresno all the time.
Yeah.
And the California Association of Realtors says when you do the numbers, 2 people working a minimum wage job in Fresno can afford a house, and they can afford a house like this. People think, oh, you know, if I'm working minimum wage or if I'm working a low-dollar job, it just can't do it. But really, in Fresno and the surrounding areas, Reedley, Selma, Parlier, these are really affordable times to be looking to buy a home.
It is an incredible time.
Yeah.
You know, first-time home buyers or, you know, young people that are starting off in life, and oftentimes, you know, both of them are married. I mean, are working, and having that 2 income, you know, pushes them above the minimal level, if you will, and they can get into a home. They can start creating a legacy for themselves, you know, that will repay them throughout the rest of their life.
And that's part of the reason I focus particularly on the lower income side of the market, because the impact you make on someone's life, not just for them, but for their children and their children's children, by getting them on the property ladder, helping them build wealth, not just making money, but building wealth over the long time. You can make such a huge impact in someone's life if they're in that bracket versus taking someone from a $400,000 house to a $500,000 house.
Right.
You take them from nothing to a $175,000 house, and you've changed their life and the lives of their children. One of the best transactions I felt the most pride of last year was I helped an older gentleman. He was probably in his early 50s, 2 teenage kids.
Wait a second. Yeah, well, we need to redefine older here. No. Okay,
So to set the table, he was not like a 20-something.
Right.
This is a man who'd been working his whole life. He's the head janitor at elementary school here in town.
Okay.
Only had a little bit to work with, and I was able to help him find a place that he was able to work on. And 3 months or so after we'd moved him in, I got a text message from him. Of course, as a real estate agent, you get a text from an ex-client. You think it's going to be bad. It was pictures of the renovations that they've done. And accompanying with that was just a tremendous complimentary text saying, we're so thankful for you. We didn't think anyone would give us the time, and it has changed their lives.
Isn't that awesome?
It's the best feeling of any job that I've ever had. So I love to put myself out there to make myself available to explain to people who don't think that real estate is for them, that absolutely real estate's for you.
But you know, Jeff, for our people that are watching, there's a subtext behind that. You say, well, you know, very cavalierly, you say, well, I put myself out there. Putting yourself out there for a certain part of the buying market or the selling market that is traditionally been overlooked or ignored because realtors don't want to put in a lot of effort for no return. Maybe their clients will drop off or whatever. You have to put a lot of energy into this.
Yeah.
And I want folks that are watching this to realize that it's not like you just talk to them, sit at your desk, you know, look on the computer and say, okay, this is what we can do. We'll write this up and we got a deal. You got to work more. You got to represent your clients more. You got to give back to your clients more. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it does take a little more work, but in my experience, when I come from a poverty background, my wife comes from a poverty background, so we're very sensitive to folks who are looking for how to improve their lives. And in my experience, when every penny counts, you know the value of every dime you're spending so much more.
Yeah.
So the lower dollar clients can be a little bit more work intensive, but that's also because they know exactly what their money's worth. If the difference between you making it or not making it at the end of the month could be $15, $20, $50. Clients like that know exactly what they're looking for. They're very serious and they're very financially savvy.
And they need a representative that's gonna doggedly
Yeah.
follow that trail until they get to, something that works for them.
Yeah, about 75% of my business is clients under 225,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I interact with people every single day who think home ownership is not for me. It's impossible. It can't happen. And I tell people every day in Fresno, about 200 properties come on the market.
Mm-hmm.
If the median price is 305,000, which it is right now, that means that there's half the homes coming on the market right now are under 300,000. A $300,000 loan is about $1,600 a month. That's less than an apartment. When you start doing the numbers, it really does make a lot of sense, even for people working modest jobs.
You betcha. I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's a great place to be.
Yeah.
In that, we also have a listing. So now we'll talk about this listing.
Yeah.
What is this listing?
So the listing's at 5820 East Andrews. I'll be doing open houses there. Oh, look, there's a lovely picture of it.
Yeah. How about that?
It's renovated on the inside, so there's new kitchen, new bathroom, new flooring throughout. It's in the Clovis School District. It's Shields and that's and especially at that 230 price point. That is such a big upstep.
230 in Clovis School District.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
So
awesome.
I'll have open houses there tomorrow. It's Thursday, so Saturday and Sunday from noon to 3. Of course, my phone's always open for private showings, or if a realtor wants to go show it, the property is vacant.
Phone is
559-492-0389.
okay. Now we can
you can also find me at jeffreybhess.com, Jeffrey B. Hess on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of fun stuff. But this is just such a great example of whether you're a young person as a starter home, you're looking for yourself, or whether you're more established in your career and you're looking for a home you never thought you could buy, then there's plenty of homes out there that are just like this one. So what I always tell people when I show them, because there can be a huge difference between two $180,000 houses. One can be renovated and look good, and the other can be very rough. So I end up seeing a lot of properties with people. And my take on that is always, you might have to look at a few more, but it's out there. The house for you is out there. And if you are clear with your agent, whether it's me or anybody else, about what your expectations, your needs, and your restrictions are, they can help you find a place. The market's extremely active. Banks are really willing to lend. Interest rates are like 3.5%, so they're still historically low. It's amazing time, especially I think for lower income people. We're finally starting to see some of this economy work for them, and they've been left out for so long. And just it'd be great for more people to be able to own a home.
more than great, incredibly great.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but sitting here, I'm just not getting anything but a lot of positivity and great energy.
Thank you.
That's great.
That's how I represent myself. I believe in running my business in a way that I would want to be treated. So I approach everyone with an open heart and an open mind. And my saying is, I try to fill my garden with flowers, because you never know when they're going to bloom. And when they do bloom, I want them to come up something pretty for everybody.
Awesome. Jeff, thanks for being with me today.
Thank you so much.
Come on back in the future.
Will do.
We'll talk more about the market, more about your position as an agent for buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Because
I'm expecting another hot year. 2020, I think, is going to be big.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
I've heard that rumor. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Get a hold of Jeff. He is with Movoto Realty. What's the address of the office?
677 West Palmdon. So we're at Palm and Herndon.
Okay.
That's where pretty much everybody is. So if you're looking for real estate, that's where all the lenders, and there's 5 or 6 other brokerages up there. But of course, I think Movoto is the best. I think we're going to provide the best representation for you, but I've got a little bit of a vested interest in that.
Well, there you go. You want someone who's going to work for you. Get a hold of Jeff. He's the guy. And I'll see you when we come back.